there is a massive travel agent recruitment scam going around, especially if you are a new travel agent or looking for an agency. Imagine sitting down and scrolling through Facebook only to see a post that says, "Hey hun, hey, make your dream come true. Join our travel agency team right now and you can travel wherever you want to go and be able to book trips in the pockets of your free time." Sounds really good, but yet it is way too good to be true. And you may have heard of this phrase called multi-level marketing, which includes companies like Amway, Tupperware, and even Cincy. However, everything going forward from this point is only an opinion, not a fact. And I highly advise everybody to do your own research and to get outside information if you're not 100% sure of everything I am saying, because I am no physician, I am no airplane technician, I am just somebody blabbering on with an opinion. So, legal notice out of the way, let's dive in. Going back to social media, most MLMs promise you time freedom, unlimited flexibility, work from home, no experience needed, and work whenever you can, own a lot of income, go on a lot of vacations, have a community, sell your dreams, and make your dreams come true, which are the 10 most common things that you'll get pitched on, especially the community aspect, because in order to make money in a multi-level marketing scheme, you literally need to recruit people, and most of your paycheck is actually dependent on recruitment. And literally, every time you recruit somebody, a little bit of the recruitment entry fee will actually go towards you, and same with a percentage of the person's commissions or whatever products they sell. So basically, long story short, MLM is a legal pyramid scheme because it does involve a product. But going back to the travel agency shenanigan, most legitimate travel agents are not looking to recruit you, but rather they are looking to offer you a really good vacation package or a vacation deal. And a legitimate agency will literally sell you on vacation packages, and if you want to join them, there will be a pretty lengthy interview process, and most agencies will want you to have at least 3 to 4 years of customer service experience within the travel industry, or have been to quite a few destinations that they sell, such as Disney, Universal, or even SeaWorld. But you might be wondering, what is the dangers of the pyramid scheme travel agency, and why should you be concerned? Well, firstly, a pyramid scheme travel agency will most likely require a startup fee from the ballpark of $250 to $300. And that's just to sign up before you can even begin making any commissions. But yet, when you start really getting into the pyramid scheme, you will actually find that if you can get more travel agents under you, like I said earlier, kabam, that is when the money will roll in, especially if you can portray a very wealthy and well-off life on social media. And most of the training, instead of learning how to sell packages, how to find the best deals, will actually come from how to build a social media presence and how to say, "Hey everybody, if you're looking to make your dream come true, join our agency and join our team." That is how you will be able to make all your travel dreams come true. That's basically how the MLM travel agency will hook, line, and sinker you in the first place. Thing number 2 is the community itself. A lot of people you will meet will promise to be your lifelong friend and your lifelong family. Reason why? It benefits them. It is a very transactional relationship, and I personally learned that the hard way after meeting somebody who promised me $5,000 a month if I could sell their ebooks. However, I quickly discovered that it was a pyramid scheme and that most of my money would come from recruiting smaller business owners into making their own ebooks. Shortly after, I declined the offer and said, "No, I'm not moving out until I graduate college, and I have no interest in this ebook scheme. Even if you want me to work for free, I am not. Even in the return, even if you promise me free marketing. I'm not making a website for free. Lo and behold, the person who pretended to be my social advocate literally turned around and tried to destroy me to my family and destroyed my entire family life for 6 months. Another example consists of me ending up in another MLM adjacent business. Literally, the moment I left the business, I was considered trash. None of my friendships of 8 years even mattered. Additionally, 8 years of my social media presence was also wiped clean. And I was financially ruined because I spoke out. Matter of fact, within the same industry, my mental health was smeared. I was considered mentally delusional, and I was basically considered a pariah and blacklisted from any industry events. Even if I wanted to return to the industry by myself, my name has been so ruined, along with my reputation for speaking out, that I can't even get my foot in the door again. Even though we shared a lot of personal details and had a lot of really heartfelt moments together, none of that mattered because I was not making any of the people above or below me any money. And when it comes to the community that they push and that they promote, saying, "Hey, look, we're a family. Let's take a selfie. Hey, come along to all of our conventions. Let's travel. Let's be travel buddies." None of that is an actual friendship, unfortunately. Because what happens is when people are your friends, especially in the pyramid scheme, that means that they will most likely keep their bonus checks coming in, and will be able to push and egg you on to selling product and inventory, even if you must do something called inventory loading, where you have to buy a bunch of your own inventory just to make a monthly quota or a sales commission. And that is the only way that your upline can sometimes, the person above you or who recruited you, will be able to collect a monthly bonus check. So it behooves the people within the scheme to be your very close and your best friend, so you feel the social pressure of not being able to leave. So that is the major issue I have with the community aspect. And number 3, what really makes this problematic is all the lofty financial dreams and aspirations. Especially if you see a post that says, "Imagine yourself in 15 years. What will your income be like? Will you have a 6-figure income? And let's grow together." One financial promise after another financial promise often leads to something called a sunk cost fallacy, where you find yourself paying for your monthly membership fee, paying for products, trainings, and even attending conferences. And basically every single bit of your money will eventually funnel up to your upline, making your upline richer and richer and richer, as all your money is being transferred out of your hands into your upline. And yet your upline keeps saying, if you keep trying, if you keep going even harder, especially on your social media presence, you will be as rich as I am. Quick interruption, but do you ever see a CEO of a major company going online and flaunting their wealth and saying, "Hey, do you want to be rich like me? Join my team. I'll show you all the ways to make you really, really rich, and I'll show you how to run a business just like me. Come on, I'll show you how to run a franchise." Actually, you not see any of that. Rather, you see the CEOs being very quiet, very business-minded, and not spilling their secrets, because no big business or anybody with money or influence wants to actually share their secrets or recruit their own competition. And that mentality often can lead to bankruptcies, foreclosures, and even divorces in certain cases. So that is why I'm just really worried and concerned when it comes to multi-level marketing, structured travel agencies, and because I've been scammed before. And that is why I'm very adamant about speaking up and basically giving people all the warning signs and what kind of buzzwords to look for before joining any company, especially if it is a travel agency wanting somebody with no experience, or saying, "We will train you to become the best travel agent there is, blah, blah, blah." And usually the biggest red flag for me when I'm looking at somebody's feed is seeing a bunch of sunset pictures, a bunch of posts saying, hey, imagine being able to join me. I can teach you how to be a travel agent. Join my team. Or a bunch of selfies with like, hey, it's me and all my friends. We're going to such and such a trip. You can come join us if you want. Or a picture of a convention that focuses on team building and that basically focuses on, hey, look at all of us together. Look, we're besties. Welcome to the team. We love you. We love you. We love you. Instead of like the typical, hey everybody, welcome to our convention. These are our top destinations, blah, blah, blah. And awesome, here's some behind the scenes tools and tips about how to run your business successfully as an independent agent. That is the kind of conventions that do scream legitimacy. And when it comes to finding a legitimate travel agency, it usually requires an entire onboarding process instead of just the, hey, look, here's a link, sign up on the link, and you gotta pay a $250 blah 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 such and such starter fee. Then you'll get our ebook and instructions about how to grow on social media and how to find other people to join you. That is like the night and day difference between legitimate travel agency onboarding versus a PR recruitment scheme. And most travel agencies who are legitimate, from my personal experience and from the best of my knowledge, will literally spend an entire interview vetting and nitpicking any agent before they're accepted onto the team. Otherwise, especially I forgot where I was going with that. The monorail left the station. Well, that is it for today. And thank you so much for sitting through my travel agency scheme ramble. I realize that this is not another Tower of Terror or Disney video. However, I realize that there is a major travel industry within the Disney community, and that is why I continue to talk about schemes and scams, just like my parking video scam, or anything relating to travel alongside of Disney, especially if it does involve getting into your wallet or somebody possibly taking advantage of you. And we will see you in the next video.